Okay, this is a VR to Guns Coast to Coast. I needed a VR in response to Kansas Prepper, and I had to do with where'd all the Patriots go. And I thought this was a fitting place to do it because, let me see if I can get in there. On the other side of that creek, up on that little bluff, 1777, George Washington, part of his Continental Army, encamped up there for a while. And look at that, a little deer. See if we catch a little deer. Oh, he's gone. Anyway, yeah, my thoughts on it are after January 6th, the Patriot movement kind of like went underground. It kind of disappeared. And there was a few reasons. One is there was no organization to speak of. There's a bunch of people doing their own thing. And the other thing was because of the lack of organization, there was no real leadership. And I think a lot of people expected Donald Trump to show up, waving a saber and leading the charge. And it didn't happen. And there was a lot of stupid up on January 6th. Some guys, breached the knocked down the chinchy little shit gate that they had on the lawn and, poured in. And immediately some guy was up on top of the scaffolding, shouting orders. Now that was kind of peculiar. And then the door being left open and people just walking in, I thought was rather peculiar. Guy walking out saying, yeah, they just shot some girl, I just watched it. And he wasn't detained or held as a witness or said, it's kind of peculiar. Every year, every election for virtually everything, the Democrats contest it. And because they're frivolous, Democrat governors send, their own delegates to vote for president, and everybody sees it for just a sham that it is, and they're ignored. Whoever the rightful people are, for electors, that's who gets picked. And for whatever the reason, Pence picked all the bullshit electors. Pennsylvania, it's not a popular vote. It's picked by the Senate. The Senate didn't pick the electors. They were, pushed by the wayside. The people didn't pick the electors. It was the Democrat governor, and nobody challenged it. And I believe that's the way it was in Arizona and in a lot of places. But regardless, after the 6th, everybody that went into the building got arrested, which I kind of expected. Handful of people that, were getting rowdy with the police, they got arrested, which I expected. And the thing that I did not expect was Donald Trump, instead of leading the charge, he not only didn't lead the charge, he let everybody languish in jail without without pardoning anybody. I mean, people arrested for fraud and all sorts of crazy shit get pardoned, and his most loyal supporters all got left out to dry. And I think that was a big nail in the coffin of people being vocal and wanting to put their name out there and say, yeah, I'm willing to fight and die. I'm willing to whatever. I think there's a lot of people like that still left, myself included. But a lot of us don't want to be eulogized as the crazy lone gunman that got wiped out by the police on Main Street. So that, kind of puts a halt in it. As far as, people saying, well, I've got too much to lose. I got a wife and a family and a job and whatever. Truth of the matter is, you can't take it with you. And in that respect, you got nothing to lose after all. I mentioned that, right up there, real patriots camped. They left everything. If they got caught, they were shot. They were traitors. There wasn't wasn't a hell of a lot of prisoner exchange. It was just brutal conditions. If you got thrown, if you were lucky enough to be captured and put in some kind of a POW camp, you're basically there to either work you to death or starve you to death. It wasn't like Hogan's Heroes at all. But everybody up on that hill, they knew what they were getting into. And they knew that if there was a lost cause, they were beat. It was over. Whatever they had and whatever they came to the New World to get, it was gone. Whatever their ancestors, fought for, came over for, was gone. And there's a lot of people that didn't even make it. They put it all on the line and they didn't even make it. Excuse me. First couple of volleys and they were done. The game was over. But everybody stayed in and more joined. I don't know if that's the case of what happens. Some people say, well, once they start something, people in their communities will pull it together, and then the communities being victorious will join with other communities, and that's great. Then you just have anarchy. You just have a big shit show. You need some kind of leadership. And as far as the Patriot movement goes, there isn't any. You got some serious militias still going on, in all parts of the country. And if there was one person that could, or one group or one council that could channel everybody in the same direction, Washington would be a different place tomorrow. But apparently that's not the case, because you got this group running through the woods playing army, and you got that group on some encrypted chat talking about how fucked up things are. You got some other group that's now dodging, they're hiding in their basements because they think the FBI is and the ATF and everybody else is on their case. And maybe they are, maybe they're not. But there's still a lot of people out there that are just not poking their heads up. They're not willing to play whack-a-mole. They don't want to be that mole. And anyway, that's my take on it. If you haven't ever checked out Guns Coast to Coast, check him out. Did meet him in Washington at a rally one time. He is a hell of a good guy. Very smart, very sarcastic, very dry humor a lot of the times. Real good guy. A lot of stuff he puts out is pretty thought-provoking. You can think about it all day if you're not careful. So that's all I got on that. My VR to Guns Coast to Coast. Y'all take care. One other thing. Apocalypse Ben. It's fitness day at the farm. If you want to come out and help stuff these up in the barn. So come on down. See y'all later.